out as bisexual since I was kind of out since I was like 16, because I think that's your first question, right? Like, how old were you when you came out? Okay, so I was, when I came out to my family, I was like 18. When I came out to myself, I was like 16. I kind of knew that I was bisexual when, or like something was different when I read this book that Aaron's grandma actually gave to me, called Ruby Fruit Jungle by Rita Mae Brown, and it's about this young lesbian and her like coming of age story. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And so it made me realize, hey, yeah, I might be bisexual, or I don't think I'm a lesbian, but you know, there's definitely something to this.
How old were you when you came out?
I was 16 going on 17.
Mm-hmm.
And I came out after I was going through a really difficult time, but I was able to process, and I finally accepted the fact that I was bisexual, because I wasn't sure if I was just questioning or not, but I'm certain.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what year was that? That was in 1999, when 1997, probably, when I first read that book, 1999, when I came out to my family. I was dating my first girlfriend back then, and yeah.
The response from your family, or?
The response from my family, well, my mom, actually like kind of telling the story because it's a little bit funny, but kind of like, oh my god, really, because you know, like, people have really a lot of trouble with knowing the in between, right? Like, everything's sort of black and white in our society, and so my mom's reaction kind of goes along with that, because I told her I was bisexual, and she was like, oh gosh, don't tell the family, they're gonna blame me, and you know, that kind of stuff. But then she went out, don't tell her I told you this. She went out to a party with my family out in the desert. They have this like cabin, and they go out and get drunk and have a good time. But my mom got drunk and told everybody that I was gay. And I was like, Mom, no, that's not it.
Yeah.
What year was that?
2012.
2012. Okay. What was the response you got from your family?
They're pretty accepting. I have several cousins that identify as queer,
Mm-hmm.
so they just saw it as, you know, just one more to the fold.
A lot.
Yeah.
So what was the response you got from the LGBTQ community?
Well, so I wasn't really like in the LGBT community until I kind of like started creating. When I was at El Camino, I went to community college there. I went from like 99 to 2001, and they had a gay straight alliance, but it like sort of went under, and so I was like, well, but we should have one. Let's, you know. So I went and I chartered the club and got members to join, and was the co-president for a couple of years. And we did like movie nights and stuff like that, and but yeah, it's interesting to think back to that. Like that there was the gay straight alliance. There was no like. There's a bi wasn't in the
acronym.
yeah, and in the title, yeah. So that's interesting to think back on. But I think I always like joked that I was the Slash. So
The response you got from the LGBTQ community.
They were actually really welcoming. I consider them as a second family.
Mm-hmm.
I started going more often to the Los Angeles LGBT Center, and they welcomed me with open arms. I'm on my 4th or 5th year already as a volunteer there.
Awesome.
So how, in your opinion, has the perception of bisexual people changed since you came out?
I think it's easier to some extent. I think, you know, maybe it is getting easier, but like, I don't know, I still feel like people have some trouble, you know, understanding both sides, or understanding that there's something in between.
Yeah.
That it's not just, you know, black or white. There's this whole wonderful rainbow in between. Between black and white. Yeah, so, you know, I haven't like experienced a lot of discrimination because of my bisexuality lately, so I guess that's good,
It's
right?
changing.
But I'm also like in a different place in my life, and you know, sometimes I feel like I can really easily pass as, you know, one or the other, because like I was saying, I'm it's interesting that like when I'm with I'm in a polyamorous relationship, so I'm with my wife and I'm with my boyfriend. So when I'm with my boyfriend, I'm like, oh, I'm passing as straight. This is great. And then when I'm with my wife,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, now I'm passing as
There you
gay.
go.
Great. And I'm still like erased,
Mhm.
right? You know, like it's not something that you can tell from the outside.
Yeah, being bisexual.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's been interesting.
In your opinion, how has the perception of bisexual people changed since you came out?
I think it's become more accepting, and there's more representation also in the media, so
Mm-hmm.
that helps, you know, anybody that's questioning like, what is that? So I think it's gotten better. We're getting there.
We're getting there. So you do feel represented in the community?
There's a few characters that you see on TV, but like movie and music, not really.
Mm-hmm.
We can improve. There's always room for improvement.